Hi, I'm Jen with JKC Mobile Notary, and thank you for coming to this week's YouTube video. Today, I want to start part one of a two-part series about work routines. I'm sure you've heard about morning routines and evening routines and all kinds of routines, but I want to talk to you about the importance of a start of work routine and an end of work routine. Today, we're going to start with the start. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go. Okay, well, you can't have missed the routine bandwagon, especially at the end of a year, at the beginning of a new year. People talking about wanting to refresh their routines, their morning routines, their night routines, their workout routines, their eating habits, things like that make routine in our life. Everybody does it on some level, even unconsciously, we do it. What do you do the minute you get out of bed? The minute I get out of bed, I have to use the bathroom, but the second thing I need to do is brush my teeth because I cannot stand the taste in my mouth after sleeping. I do it every day. That's routine, right? And when I brush my teeth, I wake up. I rarely go back to bed after I've brushed my teeth in the morning, which starts another ball rolling. So routines are important in our lives, and I think that they create great value in our lives. I have a quote from Gary Keller. I'm going to try to really up my game today and put that quote on the screen, but just in case it doesn't work, here it is. Gary Keller, by the way, is the CEO of the largest real estate company in the world, Keller Williams Real Estate. So here's his quote. And the reason I'm giving you this quote is routines help in the overall productivity of our lives. He says, productivity isn't about being a workhorse, keeping busy, or burning the midnight oil. It's more about priorities, planning, and fiercely protecting your time. Okay, that is really the point of all of this. Creating you time is what creating routine is. Yes, part of your morning routine can be getting kids out of bed and getting people's lunches made, and it's really about everybody else. But these routines I'm talking about are about the start of your workday and the end of your work. Let's talk about how you create a start of work routine. I want to tell you guys a little bit about the fact that part of me learning how to do this was from my full focus planner. I talk about the full focus planner a lot, but at the beginning of the planner, it gives you little boxes to set up your morning routine, your pre-work routine, your end of work routine, your end of night routine. It gives you the prompts to do that, and that's what got me started on this, but I see the value of it tremendously. So creating a pre-work routine, a start of work routine or pre-work routine starts with what you already do. What do you do before you start working at your desk? If you work from home or you go into the office, there is always a bubble of you time. What are the steps you take to prepare yourself for your day? Start with that list. Is it, is it when you arrive at the office? Is that when your workday starts? Is it when you open your emails? Is that when your workday starts? Is it when you sit down to your desk? Is that when your workday starts? So identify where your workday starts, i.e. when your time becomes somebody else's time, and work backwards from there. Okay, that's how we're going to create a start of work routine for you. And a start of work routine doesn't have to be overly complicated. It can be a couple steps that just give you a moment to collect yourself before you give yourself away, if that makes sense. Okay. So once you've made your list, and the first thing you're going to identify is where it turns from your time being yours to your time being the job's. Whether you're self-employed or not, there is a point in time where the time changes over from what you want to do to what you have to do for your job. So when does that happen? And a lot of people, it's when they open their email. And I'm going to show you why that's not the case for me. And why that is, but that's a trigger for a lot of people. So we want to do all the things we need to do before we open our email, so that we don't sit down and turn on the computer and just start headlong into our day. We have a minute. Honestly, a minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes to get ourselves together. Okay. Well, yeah, and I was gonna say even fast food workers have a few minutes of self-preparedness before hopping on the clock. So when you're doing this exercise, try to be honest about where that divide is. Okay, now take a look at the time you have once you've arrived at your desk. If you're self-employed, do you have as much time as you want? Are you an employee? Might you only have 3 to 5 minutes? Discover or create the amount of time that you want to spend on this routine. It can be, I think my startup routine used to be almost an hour, but now I've whittled it down to about 15 minutes. I am self-employed, so I can do as much time as I want, but I whittled it down to 15 minutes. Once I instituted my workday shutdown routine, I was able to shorten my startup routine, and I'll explain that next week. Okay, so you've picked how much time you want to spend. You know where that line is that where your time is no longer yours. So here are some of my short things I do before I start my workday at my desk. One, I do a short do you see my dog back there? He photobombs our videos all the time. I don't know if you guys have noticed. That's Spots, who always has a cough when we're recording, who always has the itches when we're recording, and if somebody is delivering something, he's always going to make noise. So, Spots, people. Okay, and don't judge me about my Christmas tree, people. I love that tree. It was new this year. It fits right there in that spot, and I'm going to be building a shelf to replace it, and I just haven't built the shelf yet, and I'm really reluctant to let that go, so judgment-free zone. Okay, so my short start of work routine are some sort of meditation, a prayer, or I set an intention for my day. This is not overly complicated, or I'm not lighting candle. I'm going to suggest this at another point, but I'm not like doing incense and umming here. This is literally just a few minutes to focus my energy, focus my mind on what I'm about to do, and set an intention for my day. The next thing I do is review the day's schedule and to-do list in my planner. That takes about 5 minutes. And then I do a quick email sort. Now, I already said that sitting at your desk and opening your email is not the best thing to do, but I need to tell you that I have been working really hard on a productivity system that allows me 3 minutes. I can touch every bit of email in my inbox, and I live most of the time at email 0, which is amazing. And so I have no problem taking just a few minutes to sort emails as they come in. And I might talk about that another time. It's part of the building a bigger brain. When I talked about the books that I think you should read this quarter, building a second brain, not a bigger brain, a second brain. It's pretty remarkable. Anyways, I do a quick email sort. It's short, it's simple, but it's really, really effective. So what steps would you take for your routine, for your start of work routine? You could do things like clean up the clutter on your desk. If your desk is buried in papers and things and files and anything else that is immediately impeding your productivity, clean it up, put it away. Write down your top things you want to accomplish today. You can use a planner or a notebook, but organize your vast to-do list into the top 3 things you absolutely have to get done today. Everything under that list you'd like to get done, but life or death, these top 3 things, right? Light a candle, run a diffuser, reach out to 3 contacts and build your network in that time frame. Review yesterday or last week. Take a minute to go over your notes or schedules from yesterday, if you're coming in on Monday, last week, to get yourself in the headspace to be on top of your game today. It's going to be one of the simplest but most effective things you can do for your productivity. There's going to be dozens of different tasks for dozens of different people. We are all different. Our jobs are different. Our priorities are different. Our experiences are going to be different. But nobody is above the benefit of having a short start of work routine. Short or long, it doesn't matter what you want to do. Whatever you want to do, start of work routine gives you just a minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes to calm down the kids screaming and forgetting permission slips and lunches and dinners and what am I going to do about the laundry, all the to-do lists about your whole world that are going on in your head at all times. This time gives you a moment to silence the mechanism. Does anybody know what movie that's from? I think that's how he said it. Silence the mechanism. And just focus on what you have to do, the next 3 things that you have to do today. So if there's any questions about this, please feel free to ask. But there's a part 2 coming on ending your workday. And I'm going to tell you right now, your ending workday routine impacts more than the end of the day. It really impacts your start of work routine. That's how come my start of work routine went from, 30 minutes to 15 minutes or maybe less, because I implemented an end of work routine, and that's going to be next week. So come back and let's learn about that. But if you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear from you. And please, if you're liking this kind of stuff, hit like, follow, subscribe. It would mean the world to me to help this channel grow and to help this small community grow. And until next week, be well, be happy, be productive, and get some routines in line for your business. See you later.